morning, good afternoon, good evening. It is 11 o'clock in the UK, 12 o'clock in Central Europe, 1 o'clock in South Africa and much of Africa, and of course 6 o'clock a.m. in the east side of America. So welcome. My name is Jan Robberts. I'm your host for this session, and you're listening to IBGR.network, the International Business Growth Network. Now, I'm an entrepreneur, an inspirational entrepreneur, a co-founder of Key Leadership Institute, the founder of JR Speakers Club, and I'm a speaker, a coach, a trainer, values-based leadership specialist, personal profiling consultant, which is very important for the day, and personal development professional. Now, for any more information about me, you can always go to the www.ibgr.network website and check out my profile, and there's plenty of other information how you can get in touch with me and see what I do. But not only that, because we also, when you go to the platform, we also would love for you to actively take part in this, because you, the listener, and of course, we're on Facebook Live as well, the viewer, are the people who are most important to us. That's why we do this. If we had no listeners or viewers, we would be talking to the wall. But we would love to hear from you real time. So if you go to the website, you'll see sometimes an annoying, pulsating orange question mark there that you can actually ask questions real time. I'm not promising I'm going to answer them real time, but you can at least ask questions, leave comments, and if you hear anything today or about any of the other shows, then if there is something you want to learn about today's subject or other subjects that aren't mentioned or covered, let us know, because this is a fluid kind of program that you are. It's you are going to be deciding the kind of things we're talking about, because if we're talking about stuff that doesn't interest you, why are we doing it? We would love to share with you and guide you and support you the way you can benefit. And if you know of any other people who might benefit, like and share this. And you can do that with the platform as well. But we also have an amazing app. Don't forget about the app. That's my Scottish bit coming out, the app. But don't forget about the app, because the app is amazing. You can follow us everywhere and anywhere. You can join the community. You can learn about all the other hosts, because there's more than 40 hosts around the world 24/7 sharing with you in a variety of areas, which I'll mention very shortly. But also, you can comment there. You can download the podcast. There is so much you can do. And also, Donna has already put our show notes on the platform as well. So any show notes that we provide for you are also downloadable together with the podcast, which of course come later on, because the podcasts are from just now, and it's a busy program. You imagine 40 odd hosts having all these podcasts coming in every week, and they've got to be uploaded and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, but they'll be coming as well. So wonderful. This is already episode number 6. Getting to know yourself is a serious business. I'm going to be talking in what defines you. And if you know yourself, you'll know your future. So it's in our people skills lane, people for success at IBGR.network. I already mentioned that. Go to our website, but also download our show notes. I nearly got it wrong again. Now, we are about halfway into a 4th season already after this. How time flies when you're having fun. And you, our audience, we would love you to ask the questions. But it says we have a wide range of subjects, from operations, customers and finance, and today is a people day, and of course tomorrow is also executive day, so working on the business rather than in the business. And there's all kinds of different levels. So if you are just thinking about entrepreneurship, and more people in this time are seriously starting to think about how they can actually earn money for themselves rather than depend on a boss or a job or the circumstances around them. So if you're thinking about it, or if you've just opened your door, or you're experienced, even if you're thinking about selling your business on, there's all kinds of information available, so there is plenty for everybody. That's why you should like and share this. Now, as I said, today I will be talking into getting to know yourself and how serious a business that really is. Now, if this is your first time listening, welcome. If it's your returning listener or viewer, of course, welcome back. It is absolutely fantabulous that we are now in more than, and I don't know the number, but I know it's at least 152 countries around the world. People are listening to us every single week. Thank you for listening to us, and thank you for spreading this, because the only way more people will get to know about this and more people get to listen, not just because we advertise ourselves on our own social media and wherever we can, but also you, the listener, if you like and share this with your friends, because I'm sure there is plenty of people listening to this who know and have people that they should and could and must share this with, so they can also benefit and become more successful because you help them. Thank you already. Now, the need to connect with others, whether in your family, friends, circle, or in business, is fairly clear, I think. Even more so just now, the real need to connect with other people when all this stuff is happening around. You don't even want to go there, but all this stuff is happening is clear. But do we really connect with them in the best way possible? Well, you might think we talk to them every week and we say hello and we ask about stuff, and yeah, just a friendly chat is one thing, but do we even know how to connect with them more effectively? It comes down to how well you know yourself. Yes, that person looking in the mirror every morning. How well do you really know that person? Now, I hope by today we get into this a bit more, and that you realize that there is a lot more to know about yourself. Maybe you already know yourself very well, but most people don't really have much of an idea how well they know themselves and how they can communicate much better and more effectively. And that's what we're going to talk into this. And that's not just only for entrepreneurs and business people. That is for everyone. We've all heard the saying, you can't give what you haven't got. My partner Arthur, who's an amazing host as well and an amazing person, full stop. She's on in 2 hours as well, and she always says you can't give what you don't got. The Durban way. But this talks directly in getting to know what you've got, who you are, and how you communicate. I hope that already makes a little bit of sense, but we will talk into the personality profile, how it helps you communicate better, the way you learn, the way you lead, your strengths, and even some of your weaknesses. Now, as a behavior consultant, I'm a consultant and trainer as well. I regularly am absolutely amazed and pleasantly surprised how much people and those around them benefit from this important knowledge. Now, if you're serious about your business, then getting to know yourself is another important part, not the only part, but an important part of the human aspect of your business. Now, I hope that makes sense. So, I will actually talk into some of the following parts in the next few sessions. You know, what is personal profiling? Will it put me in yet another box? The power of the DISC system, because I use DISC, the Maxwell DISC, because there's leadership involved as well. Its simplicity and insightful personal reports. Do we need to work on our weaknesses or just improve our strength? It's a question that goes around a lot. Learning styles and how they can help you. And also communicating your way to success, building relationships the right way. See, the idea is not just giving you knowledge, because that is lovely. I might as well just write it in my show notes and say, you know, show notes are in ibgr.network. Go and download them. We'll see you next week. No, that's not what it's about. I'm talking into this as well. And I love doing this kind of stuff, because I also realized a long time ago that, you know, I had so much knowledge, but how much of it was I really implementing? And this is exactly the same. I will remind you before we leave today that all the knowledge you'll get today is only useful if you start implementing. You might not go, that's nice. That's lovely to have. No, it's not just a nice to have. The same as persistence I talked about last week is not a nice to have. And next week I'm going to talk into habits, by the way. So, you know, it's all, as you see, people stuff. So, but we need to do that. So we used to get all that we should not pay too much attention to all we're good at, really, to our strengths, but concentrate more on the weaknesses and try to improve them. In many instances, if you talked about your strength, you were seen as a bragger, as somebody ignorant. And we're told, don't talk about yourself. It's not, who do you think? It's not about you. You know, don't talk about yourself. But that was ingrained in us, so we didn't do that very well. But in this case, we're working on your weaknesses makes sense. Now, both Arthi and I are values-based leadership specialists, and in this truly transformational program, we work with basic human values every week. And when you score low on a value, for example, listening or respect, you should take action to become better, which makes sense, well, to me anyway. So, you know, because at the moment there is a lot of it's changed around a lot. So I'm going to talk into that we need to work on our weaknesses more and more. But there was a change in thinking, and we should delegate what we are not good at, so we do not waste valuable time and get more and more frustrated while stretching ourselves out of a comfort zone. So what we really need to do is find out what our strengths are and stretch ourselves out of our comfort zone the right way, so that we get even better at our strengths. Well, that makes sense as well, doesn't it? However, this appeals to so many people, but when you are starting out as an entrepreneur, when you are having to be all things to all people, you do not have that luxury yet. So yes, build on your strengths, of course, but also work in those areas you need to improve on a regular basis. Well, once you know exactly what those areas are, and that's what I'm talking into, you need to get to know yourself. So sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, sometimes it's indifferent, but we really need to get to know ourselves. And that's really something that you should really look into, because it's lovely when people tell us what our strengths are, but most of the time people will tell you what your weaknesses. I mean, people tell you what you're not good at rather than what you're good at. It happens so often. But we can learn ourselves what we're good at. And we already know some of the stuff we're good at. If we're really honest and look at ourselves, make a list of those kind of things, and also a list of what we're bad at. But if you really want to get to know yourself, sometimes you need some outside help to actually do that. And that's what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about some tips and tools, some of the other kind of amazing stuff. But very shortly, I'm going to take a break just now. But stay with us, stay tuned, don't go away, and also join us. You know, we become a member of our Insiders Network, and join us on our social media on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Twitter at ibgr.network. But don't go away, and I will see you back in 3 minutes. Okay, take care and don't go away.